If it's positive, then we don't fly to Italy. If it's negative, then we go. So.
Everybody loves a holiday, whether it be relaxing in the sun, finding yourself, or having a bit of a mad one in Zante. But how easy is it to travel in 2022 given everything that is going on? Well, today I've got a travel vlog documenting the whole process of me escaping the UK for the second time since COVID began. Step 1 was to check the government guidelines for travelling to Italy from the UK and then book an antigen test for 29 quid, as you need a negative result from a private COVID test before going to Italy.
So we're just about to go and get an antigen test because you basically need to get a PCR within 48 hours that's negative or an antigen test within 24 hours that's negative. Otherwise you can't fly. So we're going to get an antigen test because it's cheaper, and then hopefully it's negative and we fly to Italy. If it's positive, then we'll stay in Southend.
So we entered Damn Health, and the way we found a fit to fly travel test was to Google fit to fly travel tests and look for the cheapest one, because you can't have a free NHS test to go traveling with. And I should say this is coming from the perspective of somebody who is double vaccinated. So then I downloaded this app called Health Passport Worldwide, which I think is what helped kind of link my test to that. Scanned a few codes, the lady did, when she took my details, and then I went into this small sort of doctor's room.
So we just did the test, and basically all it was a tiny like PCR test in the nose, little swirl around for 2 seconds, and then we left. So hopefully it comes back negative, we'll fly to Italy.
Then we got back home and we started packing up the suitcases, not knowing if we was definitely going abroad to Italy or not. And at this point we had only booked one Airbnb out of 3 that we ended up using. So we booked one night in Italy and we was going to book everything else last minute. And then as we was cooking some vegetarian sausages, we both got the result just in time and we was negative, which means we could fly to Italy, which was fantastic. So then we was on to stage 2 of getting out the UK during COVID times, and this was battling the airport. We didn't know if it was going to be super empty, if there was going to be loads of delays like the website said because of COVID.
Yeah. I feel like as it's raining I feel a bit more nervous, but I feel like bad weather makes me fly more nervously.
Or we just didn't know what it was going to be like at all. So we got to the airport, went inside, obviously mask wearing is mandatory, and inside of the airport it kind of seemed to be busier than I thought, but it still was nowhere near that busy. There was also a lot of flights running, but I believe even if flights are at low capacity they still have to run, because to maintain their runway spot they have to complete a certain amount of flights throughout the year. Ours was leaving at 6:40 to Milan. And then it was time for some duty-free shopping, but I don't buy anything because it's really not that cheap. But I did have a good time smelling some fragrances. 1 million, what a throwback to year 10. If you wore that stuff out, your confidence was through the roof. And I should say, as I used the iconic escalators at the airport, so far I had to fill out a PLF form, passenger locator form, for when I was arriving in Italy. Nobody had actually checked my COVID vaccination passport yet.
So we're about to board the plane. It was a very, very normal process getting on the aircraft, so it's semi back to normal, just less people.
But then when we was about to get on the Ryanair plane, the lady who was doing the tickets and the boarding passes, she did want to check for our vaccination status, so I had to show her my vaccination NHS app so she could scan it, and they was quite strict on that. And then we went to board the plane. Now the plane, as you can see, there is a few people on there, but it is roughly quite empty. Now this was travelling on the 2nd of January, while it was still allowed, but there was a few restrictions in place, especially for when you're coming back, and it was just after New Year's, so we don't actually know why it was so empty. It could be either of those factors. And there it was, we pretty much arrived in Italy. I showed them the passport, passenger locator form, my COVID NHS pass, and I must say, when I was in Italy, literally every single restaurant, shop, airport, you had to have your COVID vaccination pass. They would scan it all the time wherever you went, so it was very important there. And when you was traveling around Italy on the train or on the bus, you have to have this special FP2 face mask, which is a bit more advanced one, otherwise you can't get on the train or the bus. So they were a lot stricter on COVID rules in relation to masks and in relation to COVID vaccination passports. You do also have to wear a mask out in the street at all times. So overall, flying to Italy was fine. They're just a lot stricter on COVID over there. And then coming home to the UK from Italy was very easy. You just have to get a test when you arrive back in the UK and have your passenger locator form ready with that test number on there as proof. And that is pretty much how I went about my business, flying abroad for a holiday in 2022. I hope you found this very useful and I hope you did enjoy. Obviously, do remember that information can change over time, so always use the government guidelines and the government website to make your decisions about traveling. I think when you're our age, if you're watching this from my subscriber base, uni kind of ages, traveling is so good. We don't deserve to be robbed of traveling. That's why I wanted to make this video. You know, don't give up on not traveling. Don't not travel for the next however many years of your life. Make it happen. But thank you for watching, and I'll catch you again very soon for a very good video coming soon.
All up in my head, that's how I behave. Passing up the same, waking up the same. All up in my head, that's just how I behave. How I behave.